He's just a gorgeous horse. He's big, he's strong, he's got a great temperament. He's a beautiful specimen. If you could draw your picture of the perfect racehorse, that's him. I'm Richard O'Dwyer. I'm part owner of Lostintranslation, one of the favourites for the Gold Cup, and our favourite horse. I've known Paul for about 20 years. It was clear that we both liked horse racing. So when we decided that we would get together and buy a horse, we were a natural fit for each other, and that's what we did. Paul lost a son 5 years ago, Charlie. We decided soon after that we would like to buy a horse to go out and have some fun with, and ideally target Cheltenham. So we basically set off in the summer of 2016 to do that. I registered the partnership, got the colours. We decided that we would like to try and get hold of the Minion colours, which were Charlie's favourite character. We tasked Ross Doyle, our agent, to find us a horse that might one day be worthy of running at Cheltenham, but we had no illusions that it would be a Gold Cup horse. He called us in early 17 and said he'd found the right horse for us. And Lostintranslation was bought. We decided we'd go to the Tizzards.
Richard phoned me up. I was actually at Ludlow, and he phoned me up out of the blue and said, I'm sending you a horse that's coming from a point-to-point field. We'd never met Richard or Paul before, and certainly never met the horse. The boys knew their form. They'd studied racing. They knew more about our horses than perhaps we did, and just immediately got on well with them. He arrived with us in sort of February, and then we couldn't run in that season. The ground went too quickly for him, and we said, well, we'll turn him out and we'll save him for a novice hurdle. Then we took him to the first Chepstow meeting, and from then on it was all progression.
The plan was always to go to Haydock.
They're off for the Betfair Chase, and Bristol de May jumps off in front. Lostintranslation held up last of the quartet, Robbie Power in the yellow silks.
Paul and I both generally enter into that kind of terrain thinking we'll win. We recognise in our heart of hearts that won't always be the case.
Lostintranslation, yellow jacket now, beginning to make his headway on the far side, entering the last half mile.
We just wanted the horse to enjoy the race, get through the race, prove that he can fight at that level, so that we could dream of going to the Gold Cup and participating.
Lostintranslation, a half length down, parted the Birch, ridden for the first time. Bristol de May galloping on strongly on the near side.
So it was the icing on the cake for him to actually win the race in the way he did.
But it's Lostintranslation in front, halfway up the run-in. Try as he might, Bristol de May can't get back to him. Super powered, Lostintranslation wins the Betfair Chase.
The way he jumped down the back that day was something else. He took a next step, you know, he proved he can beat Bristol de May in his own sort of backyard. And when it all comes together like that, he's quite impressive to watch.
We love this horse. We've owned him for 3 years now. I loved him the day that we got him. The colours are very important to us. Charlie passed away 3 years ago, and we tasked ourselves with finding a horse to race in the Minions colours, which are his colours, his favourite colours. And we asked Ross Doyle to find us a horse to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and this is the horse he found.
It was really intense. It was full on. It was, you know, everyone there knew the story and couldn't avoid the emotion, but everyone was sort of willing that horse on because of the backstory.
All we wanted was a horse that could take us to big days, that could run in big races 3 or 4 times a year for 3 or 4 years ideally, and just give us a journey. And Haydock told us we've got that. We're on a 4-year journey just to get to our first Gold Cup, and I just hope that it's the beginning rather than the end.
Cheltenham means everything, you know. It's the highlight of any jump jockey's season, and so hopefully we can sneak in there under the radar and he can run a big race. You know, it'll be fantastic for the owners. They deserve to get plenty of success, and hopefully he can deliver what he was bought for a Gold Cup.
What amazes me about the owners is that for all that there's this real tragedy behind the tale, they're just so lovely, the people, and they don't mind sort of sharing that story, because there's a real pride when they talk about their little boy and in the horse, and there's just this great journey, and out of something that is so desperate, hopefully there's some joy that Lostintranslation has given them.
Paul and I are just avid racing fans, and the joy that we get out of Lostintranslation is principally watching Magnificent Animal doing his stuff on a racetrack. The family get together at the races and at the yard, and therefore that helps them have fun together and to bond as a unit.
Horses are strange things, not just Paul's stories, but any times, you know, they can make some of the hardest men you know draw them to tears.
I don't think whether you've backed any horse in that race, you will be disappointed if Lost in Translation was to win, because they thoroughly deserve it. And if the scenes are repeated as were the case at Haydock, then the Gold Cup will have, I'm sure, a wonderful race, but also a wonderful aftertail to it as well.
It'll be a fantastic story, and hopefully Charlie will be giving us plenty of help on the day as well.
I suspect he'll be with us in spirit, and he will be having a good chuckle as Robbie Power streaks up the running dressed as a minion. I'm looking forward to it, but I think there'll be a tear or two.